Yeah, I think you have to start by listening first and foremost, right? So before you enter into any space, before we launched HBO Twitter, we spent weeks, myself personally, and not somebody on my team, myself personally, watching what people were saying about the brand and the space before going into there. I think you also have to make sure that you understand the medium that you're about to enter into. So just because something works on Facebook actually doesn't mean it's going to work in Twitter, or just because something works on your website doesn't mean it's going to translate into whatever the next is, Foursquare, or whatever the next thing might be. So make sure you understand not only what people are saying, but how people use that medium and how your consumers or your potential consumers are using that tactic before you start going in there. And then, yeah, then I think it's a balance of, it's that what value. It should always be what value can I bring to this community first before how can I use these people to sell my stuff or to, you know, create buzz or awareness about my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the things we try and go back to every time we hear, like, hey, I want X to be on Facebook, which is what we hear a lot of, and we have to talk people out of and say, actually, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for your business initiative to have a Facebook fan page or a Twitter profile.
And you don't say that because you already manage 37 Facebook pages.
Yeah, sadly.
Never.
But we're trying with Twitter. We're trying to make. I think the other thing to understand is to make sure that you understand the commitment. That communities are a commitment. They're a commitment, day-to-day management, long-term. You know, they're not meant to be. And by the way, I don't think it's very efficient or good business sense to build something up and then, which we saw a lot of, because we would see, you know, agencies doing work on our behalf were paid for the, you know, 12 weeks before something aired, and they'd build up the community and then they'd walk away. Okay, well, the show's done, see ya. And I'm like, and then nobody communicates to those 30,000 people till the next season of the show. And you know, we've had to, you know, train people to understand that even if the product only has a life cycle of 12 weeks or, you know, 5 months or whatever it is, that community is still there, and you need to continue to communicate with it, maybe in a different way. But you can't just build it up and let it go, and that's actually a recipe for disaster. So that provides unique challenges from a staffing and management and cost and all that kind of stuff perspective.